Hello, everyone. This is another edition of Viper Squadron podcast. You have me and Mr. Larry
Hello.
here talking today. Like we were talking earlier, Larry, that they FFG put out that article on the First Order, and you had a chance to read it, right?
Yeah, I got a chance to glance over and read some of it. It's kind of interesting what they talked about so far. I just
Yeah,
can't wait to see some of the details on those cards.
yeah. Some of the cards are pretty interesting on some of the combinations it can get, and even some of the diagrams and stuff that they showed on there. It's yeah, like some interesting things. So it's supposed to come out like the end the next quarter. I think that's what they said of their of their cycle, which would be December, November, December, January somewhere. We don't even have a date fully yet. So um,
Given enough time to plan out if they want to use the specific cards or not. Because I know that when you see some of the images so far for the first order, they have some of maybe one or two cards that you get a chance to somewhat read what actually their abilities are, while the rest of them they kind of miraculously hid what they're supposed to do behind, bases and dials and stuff. Just so you got to try to sit there and guesstimate what they're gonna be. And
yeah,
then,
I agree.
oh wait a minute, that's old 1.0. Right now, I'm doing some surfing to see if some people got lucky, and I was like trying to see if I can surf around online and see if I can spot something that might be dealing with the new. I like to put it in this terms. It's kind of like people who go work in movies, making movies. They finish the production of the movie. They get what do you call it, a master copy, and they get to take home, and it's up to them what they want to do with it. Some people they keep it at home forever, and some people get bored and accidentally copy, and the internet gets a hold of them to go crazy. So that's what I'm hoping for. I stumble with some accidental oopsie daisy cards, but so far they're on their A game. I have the
Yeah,
given point.
yeah, they haven't had anybody spoil much. I know some people tried, to do up some fake stuff out there, and you see some of that on Facebook, but they really haven't had much of a spoiler for some of the stuff. When they put this article out, you kind of got the uh, the first looks at some of the cards that they actually do have. A couple pilots and a few crew and system, I believe. Um,
Hmm.
but they finally jumping in with Supreme Leader Snoke, getting a card for him.
Ooh, I can only imagine what his abilities are going to be.
Well, I mean, there it is. It takes up the two of the crew, just like the Palpatine does.
Makes sense.
It says during the system phase, you may choose any number of enemy ships beyond range one. If you do, spend that many force tokens to flip each chosen ship's dial face up.
Hmm. Yeah, not bad. That's
But
right.
but see, it adds one force
Hmm.
to the ship, but that is um it's only one. I mean, if you have a pilot that's not force sensitive, you don't get that extra force. So when it says spend that many force tokens,
Hmm.
that's the only thing you got on there. You only got the one.
Yeah, so it's giving you like catch 22. It's like yes, you can use it, but if you don't have that ability, it's basically how can I put it? It's like having fail-safe ignition without having a munition card on board your ship. So it's kind of like yeah, I got fail-safe, but what are you using it for? Moving on. It's kind
Yeah,
of that kind of feel I'm getting from that. It's like, yeah, it's an awesome card, but if you don't have those force tokens, you basically have him on board your ship. Basically, like I'm here.
yeah.
But
But I mean, if they, yeah, I mean, it's going to be more like on that side, the only force sensitive person on the First Order is Snoke and Kylo Ren.
Pretty much.
So they're gonna have Kylo Ren as a pilot. Then they would, like they do for the two ships.
And that's where it's like, now I can't wait to see what kind of. Oh,
And seeing Kylo Ren, they kind of have a picture of him in the silencer, and they don't show how many Force tokens he has or anything, because it just shows the top part, the card art, and then the his name and initiative and stuff, and he has a focus. That's about all you see. I mean, you see part of the first line, that on his pilot card. Man, hold on a second. It's a little small on me. I think I did some. I snapped a picture of this one. So, General Hux, Phasma. Oh, there it is. So, come on, picture show up. Oh, I hate it when it's slow. But so the conversion kit's only going to cover 4 different ship types.
Pretty much.
Well, that's all they have. They have that they have the Upsilon shuttle, the TIE silencer, and the TIE FO, and the FO or the TIE SF.
Yep. Unless they plan to do something. Well, for the images I've seen from Resistance, unless they're planning to give the Interceptor the ability to be between the two factions, which would make it interesting. But then, the question is it going to still have the same maneuverabilities, or the maneuverability is going to change?
Oh, you mean the new one that they have like on the Resistance
TV
show? Yeah. If they add that one in there, it'd be awesome. Because you take an upgraded Interceptor, kind of like that middle ground between that and the TIE silencer.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
True. I agree with you on that. Because right now, I'm going to say, it's like, originally, beforehand, it was like, okay, you had your Empire, your Rebels, and you didn't really pay attention to what real faction or era they were part of in the story arc. And now that they decide, well, let's break them up even more. So it's like, okay, I know the kind of people are going to be in the Resistance and the Empire, but I really don't know who's going to be in. Basically, the new Resistance and First Order. We only have what you call snippets, especially since like you said, we only have 2 people that are force sensitive. We have Snoke and we have Kylo Ren. I'm still sitting there like wondering, is Kylo Ren going to have someone as apprentice, or is there going to be someone in the background that Snoke might have been working with, or the Knights of Ren going to actually be unveiled so we can actually see what the characters look like, so they could possibly become pilots? Because Knights of Ren, I'm wondering, are they force sensitive, or are they just people that fall willingly behind Kylo Ren?
No, I mean, from the story, they would have been force sensitive. So because I mean, I would think the Knights of Ren would have been force sensitive. I mean, but when they had that little glimpse of them and stuff in the Force Awakens and stuff, that pretty much showed them. I mean, they had lightsabers.
Yep.
So normally only the force sensitive people have lightsabers. So
that is true.
Yeah, see,
huh?
I was going to say the Kylo Ren card that I was looking at. It says his title is Tormented Apprentice. But it says all you can read is, after you defend, you may spend 1 force token, and then whatever the next line is, and then all you see is that part of the I'll show you the dark side. You see the you see the dark there that's like bold printed.
I
So
can't wait to see what his is all gonna say because it can be anything as long as it's not like how Vader's used to be. You use Vader. Oh God, what was the action? It was something you could do with Vader, but it was repercussion to you that you took damage. And I was like, well, that's a card I'm not going to be using anytime soon.
yeah,
So tormented. That sounds like it could be a catch-22 wherever he's got his ability, especially with the word tormented on there. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, I got the attack ability. Why did you hurt us, Kylo? Why? We were doing good. You decided to afflict us. Why? I'm sorry.
You know the in the first edition the test pilot blackout,
Mm-hmm.
right? The little title underneath it says ill-fated test pilot.
Oh God. Anywhere's there sounds of doom or gloom, I start questioning if I want to feel them. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, wow, I'm like,
But,
because
but in first edition, I used blackout a lot, and that was one of my favorite ones.
I think I might have been using Blackout. He was a SF or
No, he was in the silencer.
oh that's right, I haven't got a chance to run a silencer yet or get a silencer.
Uh, but when the expansion comes out,
Yeah.
that model's going to be smaller.
Oh it is?
Yeah, because
Oh
they
well.
said that the silencer when it first came out, because they had the model already done before the movie actually showed.
Ah.
So once the movie showed, they saw that it was not much bigger than a TIE fighter, but they made it so large as a ship, so they have
Yeah,
to
now I get
size it back down a little bit.
I remember when I seen pictures of the silencer, I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a big ship. And I don't remember seeing it. I do remember seeing it, but it's kind of like Captain Phasma. It's like you hear the stories that Captain Phasma is a serious bad A, but every time you see her in the movies, it's kind of like this person's supposed to be what again? She
Well,
just
I mean,
got turned.
in the first one, I mean, she kind of stood there more of like that authority person, so
Yeah,
everybody already feared her, it seemed. So, so she had just
presence.
projected, yeah, that presence on the screen, and she did a great job on that one. But
Agreed.
in the second one though, you got more of that little fight scene with Finn. That was at least good to see her do something.
Yeah, because how can I say it? I'm okay. I approach everything with multiple perspectives. People are like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Okay." For Captain Phasma, it's kind of like how Lord Vader appeared. First, when you first see Lord Vader, you sense his ominous, but it was when he grabbed that one Resistance person, and he just basically just torture without even thinking twice. It was like, okay, not only is his presence terrifying, but this Joker done displayed. I don't care how scared you are. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get what I want out of you, and I don't care how it's done. I'm like, okay, if you see Vader, just tell him what he needs. He might let you live, or else, he might take your life. But either which way, it's your
You're
choice.
talking about the guy that was on the Tantive 4 when he
Yes.
held him up there and then he choked him and then he threw him against the wall. He was
Yep.
supposed to be dead, and the actor goes like this.
But at the end, it showed you did not mess with that dude. First when he sense him, yes, you feel the presence. But when he did that next action, it was like, okay, he's not only just your presence, but literally, you need to fear him.
Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's why like Kylo Ren, his first appearance on the screen, that
Yeah,
whole grabbing that blaster bolt, that fucking impressed the shit out of me when I saw that happen.
you
The
know
first
well,
time.
when he
I was
did
like,
that,
what?
because I was sitting there when he did it, I was like, okay, he's force sensitive, but he's force sensitive to the next level. Literally
Yeah.
catch the ball. I was like, no, don't want to
And
mess with
then
him.
and then the concentration to hold it there the entire time, right? And
Yeah,
then Poe walking by it and just like looking at it. That was a pretty impressive entrance too. Even though he ended up killing that old man.
true.
So
But it showed, how can I say, it showed the presence of fear and the force, the reminder to be afraid of this person, even though you learn later on, it's kind of like I call it the reverse or the short note. Yeah, the reverse version of Anakin Skywalker. Everyone's like, what do you mean? You know, first you see Lord Vader, but in reality, George Lucas wanted you to see him as a little boy grow up into Lord Vader. Whereas Kylo Ren, you're introduced to Kylo Ren, and as you progress, you meet Kylo Ren without the mask and who he is afterwards. And it's like, yes, he's a tormented apprentice who really wants to get into the dark side of the Force, but he's still finding his good half. And everyone's like, never thought of it that way. I'm like, yeah, that's one of the reasons why he ended up killing Han Solo, even though I'll leave the rest of that story alone. It deals with someone named Harrison Ford, but and I digress. Because everyone asks me, how do I feel about Han Solo's death? I'm like, man, Han Solo could have made it to at least what? I want to say the ninth movie, and then he could have died. I was
yeah.
like, because it would have been, how can I say, more interesting, but either which way, we're playing the style we're going. So it's like, okay, so Han Solo dies. The first new version adaptation of the continuance of the story. We have Chewie that's still around, who is I think 200 years or less old. So not sure if he's getting up there in age or still. Well, I gotta figure out the life cycle of a Wookiee again.
Yeah.
So
I think well, I what he's like what, like 190 or something like that in episode 4.
yeah,
So you think this is what 35 years later after episode 6.
so yeah,
So
he's
what are you,
200.
probably about 230.
Yeah, so he's 230 years old. So that means he's been alive that long. So he may get more experience. And then that's where it's gonna get interesting because it's like some characters are gonna make it into the Resistance pack that were actually in the old Resistance to the new Resistance. And it's like, okay, so I can't imagine only what Chewie's gonna be carrying in there. He might have maybe one extra ability and one less ability. And then
Oh,
then I'm thinking of the other characters. I'm like, are they gonna have Han Solo really in there? Because Han Solo was only in there as what was it again? He was doing some kind of cargo hauling, but wasn't on the Millennium Falcon. It was on some other starship he managed to obtain and get access to. So
oh yeah,
then,
that big one where he was doing the contracts. He was hunting those Rathars and
yep.
delivering them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, you got another ship you can mess with, or you can leave that one
Oh,
out. I'm just
you
digging
can,
shit.
you couldn't put that one in X-wing because that one's one, it's so massive compared to the size of the Millennium Falcon. It would be like an epic sized ship, but
Uh,
I mean, it really didn't show much more than it being like a cargo hauler. So
that too.
that's to me at least. So
If
who knows
true.
what it would
So I
be?
was
So
thinking support ship mostly, like how the Imperial transport ship that was able to carry TIE fighters underneath its hull.
oh yeah, the Gonzati.
Yeah, I was thinking of that when I was thinking of that ship. That's the only thing I could see it being filled as, or yeah, basically a support ship mostly.
Yeah.
See, there's like so many things I'm thinking about from the limited amount of knowledge we have. And it's like I can't only imagine what ships they're gonna have, what customizations they're gonna have. And I just remember something. Did he still retcon Sabine's tie in the old in this new edition 2.0,
What's
or
that?
is it Sabine's modified tie
Yeah.
fighter? Is it in the Resistance pack? I haven't fully looked at my Resistance
No,
cards yet.
it's in the Rebel pack. It's part of the Rebels.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Rebels.
Yeah, it's in the Rebel pack.
Okay, still there. Okay, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So that's still a retcon. Awesome. Awesome. That's going to also lead to another fun thought. I'm thinking, I'm sorry, I'm about to switch to another general on Mobile Suit Gundam. After the 1 Year War ended, you had Zeon and Earth Federation. And once that ended, the companies that were involved building mobile suits decided to do joint venture projects. And sometimes some people who were part of Earth Federation decided, since they always liked the Zaku suit, I might want a Zaku suit. So I'm thinking maybe since that war, there may be some ships that might accidentally land into some ace pilots in the resistance who like that preferred ship and may have modified it. So that's another thought for ships too.
Yeah, I mean, they could have their own modified ones, like the TIE Fighter.
Yeah,
But,
or Defender, because I can see some people wanting to fly the Defender because they're like, well, I was impressed by the concept of the Defender, and since it's such a limited production, and I'm an ace pilot, and I couldn't find anything that was qualified to make me an ace pilot, I'll take a Defender. I'm like, oh lord. Yeah, I'm sorry. In Gundam Universe, they had like mobile suits that were prototypes, and they were like, well, we're gonna destroy this thing over here. And the ace pilot's like, I'm an ace pilot. You said not many people can understand or can handle it, so they're like, yeah. Well, guess what? Since I'm an ace pilot, I'll take that suit. There's a 50 chance you might die in it. It'll be destroyed. Okay, sure, we'll give it to you. And people wonder why I always get a kick out of the word ace pilots. Give them an experimental thing that we wanted to destroy like a couple hours ago. Sure, no problem. Do you like it? They're like, yeah, I like it. I'm like, oh Lord. Are they gonna live or are they gonna die? We'll find out next. So many things. This is what I've been thinking about ever since the 2.0 update happened. It was like, okay, I can't wait to see what the concepts they're coming out with. And that's why I think the Resistance story came out for Star Wars, is because I think we were talking about it maybe a couple months ago. The concept of this show may be to give First Order and the Resistance more ships to field than what we're normally used to, because I looked at some of the images I've managed to accumulate, and some of the ships are kind of cool and hilarious. There's like one that looks like someone who was a former race car pilot, or whatever.
mm-hmm.
I want to get my starship out in a paint job of all my sponsors when I was just, a civilian race pilot and some, I don't know, like could be pod racer, who knows, etc. That's why I keep saying I don't know, because since a lot of the stuff that I knew about Star Wars has now been officially put into question, it's like I don't really. I have to go back and relearn everything I know about Star Wars. Yay! Thank you,
Well,
Disney.
well, you don't have to do everything. I mean, a lot of the backstories have changed and stuff, and what might
Exactly.
have gone on in the books, but not all, the core of it is still there. So that's
Exactly.
there.
That, and what I was trying to say about the racing events is like, well, I've heard, and whenever I used to do studies for fun with Star Wars, I heard there were other kind of racing events going on besides pod racing. There were other kind of racing events, and I can't remember them right now because officially when I heard all the stuff that I knew was getting thrown out that wasn't 100, like the core points of the story. It's
Uh-huh.
like, now I gotta find out if these races re-exist so I can actually be in sync with the actual lore of Star Wars again.
Right, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. I tell everybody, I know some people that are Star Wars fans may freak out, but it's the same concept of me doing what I've been doing for the last few years with Star Trek. I was like, let me get myself reacquainted with Star Trek. My head hurts. Too confusing. What? Wait. I
All right.
knew. Oh,
All right, let's go ahead and get back to this little stuff that we were talking about
no
with the
problem. Sorry.
conversion kit. Um, the first fan part of the fanned out cards and stuff, where it gives you a little sneak of Supreme Leader Snoke and Captain Phasma. They have Omega Leader now is Midnight. They have a card here for hyperspace tracking data, which they actually show the whole card later. But then they have the Special Forces Gunner, which they don't show the whole card. But that one's the one that I can't wait to see come out for the Special Forces tie. So, but then the two dials that they give right here, I think it's probably going to be the TIE fighters and the shuttles, primarily because the one has the zero stop. So the Upsilon had that before, so
the pain of my existence.
we'll have that one. And then the other one has a straight 5 on it. So
so it's going to be more focused on the fighter, like you were saying. And when you said 0, I was like, oh god, that's the bane of my existence when I play this game. I think a lot of people like using 0 maneuver because when they run out of yes, they're like, I'll sit right here. I'll keep sitting right here until you get close to me and I'll shoot you. I'm like, that's just mean. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see if there's going to be like, how can I put it? It's like when C3, CPO, and you had R2D2 on the Millennium Falcon. This is the reason why I'm obsessed with the word juke. You had the ability where you could throw the dice and you could guess if it was going to be an evade or focus token. Mostly I think it was an evade token. Well, with juke, the minute I throw this dice out, you can use juke and turn it to a useless point where I can't use the dice. So it's like, I don't like juke. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of ability coming out for some ships that are either going to force someone who goes to a 0 move to either be forced to move or it's going to do something to affect them, because sometimes that ship sitting in the middle or in the right spot can make things hard for other people to maneuver, or my favorite word, bump.
Yeah. Like on the second, but then on the second option, the second picture that they have another dial. It looks close to the other TIE fighter one, but it's different. So I think this is the one that's for the silencer. Because it has a couple of the 2 sloops. All the other 2s are all blue, and the 3 straight is blue. So the only red ones would be the 2 sloops and a 4K turn.
Ooh.
So that seems more like the silencer one. So, and of course they did, they give a couple other of the TIE fighters. They have Longshot, which used to be Zeta Ace. And then they have Lieutenant Revis, who is an inconvenient witness. Is what the title is on it.
Okay, I can't wait to see what his all says now that it says inconvenient witness. Witness.
Yeah.
That's gonna make they're gonna make me go back and look at the lore and try to learn more about some of these pilots' history. Okay, because at one point I had a vague understanding of some of the rare ones. Now it's like, okay, fine, I need to figure out why some of these people earned the nicknames they earned.
Yeah. Now, listen, I was playing around, I was reading this, and they brought up one point in it where with a certain pilot, the setup, a certain pilot of the Upsilon shuttle, and the setup of 4 TIE fighters with it. For one, 4 of the FO TIE fighters plus an Epsilon shuttle. That's a pretty good setup right there. So, and I was playing around with this on my table too, just to visualize, like to actually see what they mean by this. The pilot says, hold on, let me pull it up here. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's Lieutenant Dormitz on the shuttle. He's Initiative 2. And then, but it says setup. After you are placed, Other friendly ships can be placed anywhere in the play area at range 0 to 2 of you.
Mm.
So they have that Epsilon shuttle at the bottom of the board, and then the TIE fighters at a range 2 of the shuttle out there in a single line.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But you think, well, that's not going to be that much. Well, what if the TIE fighters are like initiative ones or something, right? But then you put on the card. Where is it? Oh, the hyperspace tracking data.
Uh-huh.
And that says that setup before placing forces. So this comes in before the pilot ability does.
Uh-huh.
It says you may choose a number between 0 and 6. Treat your initiative as the chosen number during setup. So you go ahead and say, okay, well, I have this card. He's going to be a 0.
Oh boy.
So you could place him first,
Yeah.
right? But then after setup, so you put that there, and then you put those 4 TIE fighters out there.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of the hyperspace tracking data card says, after setup, assign 1 focus or evade token to each friendly ship at range 0 to 2.
Oh crap.
So before anyone's even moved,
Uh-huh.
each of them, think about it, each of them could have an evade, right?
Like.
So we have that, and then they move, right? Let's just say they move. TIE fighters have a 5 straight. You do a 5 straight, they're already more than half the board across.
True.
So wherever the opponent moves to, we're probably going to be engaging the first round.
True. Which
right?
speeds up the game.
So now let's say you move those TIE fighters. Let's say the TIE fighters are initiative 1 and dormant's 2. So you move the TIE fighters. They do their actions. They each grab a focus. So now they have a focus and an evade, right?
Good lord.
So then you add General Hux to the shuttle. You move the shuttle and you go, oh, I'm going to use my white coordinate function
Oh
or my
crap.
action. So General Hux says, while you perform a white coordinate action, you may treat it as red. So you get a stress. If you do, you may coordinate up to 2 additional ships. So you coordinated with the first ship.
Uh-huh.
You already said, okay, I'm going to coordinate. I'm going to treat it as red so he gets his action. So now he's going to do what? Maybe focus, get another focus token. Right?
Yeah.
And then I can coordinate up to 2 more. Now the next 2 people have 2 focus tokens. Right?
Jeez.
But the thing is it says they have to be of the same ship type. So that's why they'll be all TIE fighters. You know? So now, first round, we're going to engage because we're more than halfway across the board.
Exactly.
The TIE fighters. 2, 3 of them have 2 focuses and an evade. The third one has a focus and evade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like when you first said the evade tokens, I was like, okay, this is not going to end good because you already got the evade ability to get your focus, and you get a chance to shoot first. Then okay, you have the focus, which increases your odds because let's say, for instance, I throw the dices and I get a bunch of focus. Well, guess what? Here's my focus token, so all of them flip over. Even if you had, I have to go back and read one that annoying card again. But if you had someone juke or something, I think it was you can only flip maybe 1 or 2 of the dice down, and if memory serves right, the TIE FS can fire. I want to say maybe 3 or 4 off the top of the head. Turn in back to the old version. So you're already closed that in by 5, and you're already approaching. Plus, you get to account for the main ship that you're using. If that's a big base. So that's acceleration right into the enemy, which probably puts you between range 2 or 1. If you're lucky, you'll end up in 1 if you're the person that's attacking. So that means you get 1 more additional dice for range. And if you have the focus token, you throw the dice out, and most of them become focused. Throw the token out there. Oh man, huh?
Yeah, but think about it though. You might have the enemy ship might be a higher initiative, so it's going to fire first because, like, let's say Epsilon Squadron Pilot from First Edition. If they move that Epsilon Pilot over, I mean, it was um, the the pilot skill was 1, so if they leave that as a 1,
Yeah,
it's going to be the last to shoot. But if you have the evade, another focus. If you needed to use those on defense, and then with time your shot, you still got to focus there to help your shooting.
yeah,
I mean, they'll only have like 2 dice anyways for shooting, depending on range bonus or whatnot. But
yeah,
still, that's crazy.
yeah. That's what I was looking at. The focus. I always pay attention to the focus tokens, regardless, because if you're shooting, it increases your odds. You're defending yourself, it increases your odds. Especially if you, let's say, for instance, happen to be down to a limited amount of dice. Instead of having like 3 or 4, you're down to 2 or 1. You have that focus, boom. You throw those two over to an evade. Plus, you got the evade token. That's 3 evades right there. And then vice versa. Let's say you managed to make it through the volley of shots. You didn't take any damage. You got that focus token. So if you throw your dice, flip them over. And per ship, oh, that's why I was like, yeah, that has a catch 22 to whoever takes that on.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you take two evade actions at one point, right? Um,
Yeah.
you're gonna have. I mean, before they had 3 defense dices. I'm assuming it's still gonna be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the regular TIE fighters and stuff for the Empire. So even if you had 2 evades, I mean, that you're gonna at least miss at least 2 of those shots. You might be coming out at a ship where where the enemy is, you're only going to catch one of their ships
Mm-hmm.
and shoot back at you. So, it increases your odds of being able to use those tokens for, either defense or offense.
Yeah. And my favorite, yeah, I can't believe I just did that. Also, my favorite thing is if you have more ships filled on the board. And like you said, for instance, you can give them all an ability token. That means, okay, let's say you have a ship that's heading straight forward. It's just one ship. You only get a chance to take, and well, I'm not sure yeah, you get a modified card on there where you're allowed to shoot twice. Okay, that's great. One of your shots is going to either ionize the ship or disable it for a little bit, while your main guns can do damage. Well, okay, congratulations, you took out one ship, disable that ship. Guess what? The other ships that are sitting around those 2 ships you took out are still capable of firing back. And let's not forget, well, no, the Epsilon's going to be falling back, so forget the Epsilon. Those ships will be able to get into the fray, fight, hopefully not get destroyed.
Yeah,
But
but like when I said I was putting these on the table and I was playing around with them, it was pretty crazy because you throw that 5 straight out there, and then
yeah,
think about this. This is what I did first. I,
mm,
I talked about if you put the Epsilon shuttle at an angle, they say that one part of it has to be touching the edge,
yeah,
right? Because the big base. Well, if you put it at, straight 45-degree angle, like kind
mm-hmm,
of in the middle, that even extends that further out that the TIE fighters can go because a
true,
base, diagonally is longer than a range 1.
true,
So it's going to stick out there, and then you put them out there, and they just say within, like even in the picture. Now, this is where people are going to argue on with what it says within, um, because um, is it fully within, or do they just need to be touching the range 2? Now, in their little diagram, they were just touching it, but
mm-hmm,
it says Oh no, it just says that at range 2, 0 to 2 of you, so it doesn't even have to be within. So it can be right there on the edge. So think about it. You put it at a 45-degree angle. You put it all the way out there, and then they're already. Then you do that 5 straight on those, and then you do a 3 bank for the shuttle, and it kind of turns it straight up.
Yeah,
So it's right back into the fight, or like headed right behind the TIE fighters, just a little off to the side. But I mean, that's a viable move.
true. Which means I know a lot of people are gonna probably, when they figure that one out, they're gonna try to fill that a lot. Which means they got to develop an attack that actually can be effective against that kind of situation.
But I mean, the only way you can kind of you could possibly just break that up is a rock placement.
True.
Your debris. I mean, you try to line right there up against the edge of the board,
Mm-hmm.
them so he can't easily put it anywhere to where um, more than 2 ships could go between rocks.
Yeah.
So you have to split those TIE fighters up just beyond the edge, and hopefully you can get around that rock right there in the middle or wherever it might be placed. So when you're doing it, you have to be, and you're the opponent of a ship. I mean, those ships, you would have to be putting those debris right there. So when they do move, they either go over an asteroid or debris. I mean, they got to roll, so it's possibly to damage them. So
True.
it would be your benefit to do that, um, or break them up and then try to, you know,
Yeah, that's the only way I can see that being successful. The successful style of attack is to break them up because I'm thinking about formation and concentrated firepower. Because you can concentrate and shoot out, try to take out one of the strongest ships of your opponent, then the game's gonna go by faster. Yeah, you're gonna be more, yeah, higher chance of victory. But you can break them up, then it makes the game play a little bit longer, it makes it more interesting. But it also takes away that one ability those pilots had at the beginning.
right.
So I'm looking at that too. If you can make it past the first valet of their shots in defense, they're in trouble because unless the Epsilon gets close to them, they can't usually use coordinate because what's it? It's what, range 2 or range 1 and
Yeah.
2, or is it
Range two. Range two.
three? Okay, my bad. 3 to 2.
No, no. I mean, it's up to 2
Oh, okay.
through 2.
Hmm. If it's up to that range, then yeah, the Epsilon won't be in range. So they have to take the chance of moving their Epsilon up closer, but then their ships are going to still move out of distance. So yeah, the Epsilon will be out in the open after the first volley attack. So even though they may be able to approach you with their firepower concentrated, it's just the concept if you make it through that volley. Once you do, that player is in the hole unless they have some kind of ability set for the Epsilon shuttle. If they don't, then the Epsilon's just a big giant bullet magnet, in so many words.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a bullet magnet that takes 12 hits to take it out.
True. And that,
So I mean, that'll help. That's the only way that'll help. But
yeah,
still, I mean, you would think that the way it is, the only bad part about picking Initiative Zero at setup is placing it somewhere where now your opponent, all your ships are placed, and now the opponent gets to put his ships. Well, if you put it off to one side to make sure that those 4 TIE fighters go down, on down the side of the board where the rocks can't be within range 2 of, use that little lane there, but then they just set up on the other side and you lose all that effect of the first round.
yeah,
So they're going to lose all those action tokens at the end of the round, so they're not going to be able to use them. So then now all that stuff is just wasted.
exactly. And that's why I'm like, yeah, at the beginning that sounds pretty bad, but the kicker is if your squad survives the main attack, payback is a coming, and I don't think you're gonna like it too much. That's
Right.
why
I
I don't.
mean, yeah, you can do the coordinate later also.
Mm,
When they're gonna be in range, but you're not gonna be in range.
Yeah,
You can do it so they can get that extra um, token, which is great and stuff. But like the only way to make sure that you could use all of that to begin with, in that opening round is set up. Try to set up as much as in the middle as possible.
true.
Because then wherever they set, you have the TIE fighters and you're going towards them. So you might be able to get a few shots off, or they might get a few shots off before, in that opening round.
True. And that's the big problem is if they get those shots and yeah, it's going to be painful. But
Yeah.
don't, then it's going to be really bad for them because, like I said, the TIE fighters can't do the U-turn if memory serves me right.
Well, no,
Even
they can. They have the 4K.
oh, never mind. Then that increases the chance of the Epsilon getting help because now if you go up to the Epsilon shuttle, if they can turn double back, you're now opening your backside up to them for an attack. Hmm. So it turns into a Venus flytrap situation. Well, not, I'm using that as a simple form, but a creature that wants something instead of it being obvious, like this is the trap, is throw something out there, makes itself the trap, making you think that you dodge a trap when in reality the trap was waiting for you to come inward so you can be yeah. This flytrap makes sense for this. It's not opposing, it's friendly, it gets a nice scent. For instance, to fly in. Once it flies in the center, crushes it, dissolves it. Something worth. So yeah, you managed to get past the TIE fighters, TIE SFOs. Well, here's the kicker. They're turning around. At the same time, the Epsilon is waiting for you to come, so it shoots at you upon the TIE fighters who already have the advantage because you can't shoot back at them. Oh, yeah. They'll be stressed, of course, but the concept is they'll still be able to shoot back at you.
Yeah.
Also,
Um,
the range.
well, I just noticed that in first edition, the TIE fighters are the ones that had the sloop, and the silencer is the one that had the Talon roll. So I think I had the dials backwards. So that first one that I was talking about that had the Upsilon shuttle also had the silencer in it. That was the
Uh,
dial. That would have been the dial for the silencer, which makes a little more sense because it had a lot more blue on it than this one does.
yeah. Oh,
So,
man. That's something else I can't wait to see the dials and the new ships upgrades. Because at the
well, we
TIE
got
F.
three so far. The only ones we don't have yet is the SFs
Uh,
because, like I said, they got three dials on here. So yeah, that
uh,
looks about right. They have the 4 and 5 straight that's blue. So yeah, that would be the silencer one. But it's
yes.
crazy. Um, but just by the looks of this and the tokens that they have in here, that um, well, no, they would have to have more than because they only have one force token on there. So they would have to have more than one because Kylo Ren and then Snoke.
Yeah. But then it goes back down to the same statement I was thinking. I wonder what kind of force sensitive characters will we see that will join the dark side so we can have more pilots to field using that ability.
Yeah. I think the Empire has the most right now, right?
Yep, they sure did.
Because of the Inquisitors.
Yep, because you have the
Uh,
Inquisitors, Vader, Palpatine, and it gets a little complicated after that, but I'll leave it alone like
and
that.
then Vader's pilot card too. Those are the ones. But like what the Rebels has got Luke.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
only force sensitive.
see. So now this one's probably going to have one force sensitive pilot, but for two different ships because
Mm-hmm.
he's probably going to be a pilot for a shuttle,
Hmm.
which really doesn't make much sense because it's his shuttle. So you would think that people were shuttling him around. But anyways,
It all
um,
goes to how they want to develop the game and how they want to fill the characters.
that's all
Oh,
right.
God.
But yeah, I don't know. They just
That's
I
something I
don't think
also
that'd be
wonder if
more
they're
than
going to
just
manage to maintain state of course and make good judgment calls on character cards as well as giving you the freedom to do certain customizations to your ships. You know, the ability cards like the ones we were talking about earlier.
right.
And it's
You know, the
like,
new thing on the Upsilon, now it has the reinforce
mm-hmm,
and a jam.
hmm. So this needs to be cracked open, fixed on that. I'm sorry.
Uh, so,
But
but all of their actions are all white actions.
yeah. Hmm.
So, but also no linked actions. So,
So basically it's built like a tank. Oh
yeah,
crap.
I mean, it has four attack dice and one defense, like the first edition did.
Okay, then that makes it fair game. If they allow him to have more dice, no, thank you. It's time for me to step out this room.
Yeah. So the Upsilon's going to be the same on all the stats there, but it looks like they're going to have at least a cannon slot because they have a linked battery on the pilot cards. It says while you perform a cannon attack, roll one additional die.
Hmm.
So think about it. I'm throwing a ion cannon at you, and now I get that extra die.
Well, pretty much, yeah, they're gonna try and make sure to keep you. Oh man, yeah, yeah, that's enough fun scenario.
So and that there's no range restrictions or anything on that one, so it's just like period.
True, you just gotta be careful with it so they won't have a reason to write new laws for that specific. All
Yeah, I
right.
don't. But I mean, think about it though. Now you have a range three shot
Mm,
with an extra die.
yeah.
You can that reach can go pretty far.
True.
So depending on, of course, on the range on the cannon, but still that extra die means a lot because I mean, if you think about it, going against a ship that has two defense and they say okay, well it's two and the cannon's got three, the odds
Mm-hmm.
are on their side. Well, now I just added another one. Now I have twice as many dice as they do,
Hmm.
and
Which,
then ion cannon. So you're gonna get damage anyways, and then you're gonna get all
yeah,
those ions on you.
yeah. Hmm. Interesting.
So I think that the ion cannon had three.
Yeah. Eternal beauty quest continues. I'm sorry, it just came out, Jeremy. Because I'm sitting here thinking, it's like I'm pondering thoughts of what can be and what could not be for this game, wonderful game. Oh man, they just opened up so many doors.
Yeah, it
And
is. I mean, they have all these things that are gonna be so awesome when the first order shows up.
yeah,
So um,
I also think since we're talking about it, one thought that came to my mind is like, will there be? I don't know why I'm just thinking like this all the time in my head. Nope, can't think of anything. My mind just dropped. Well, actually, wait a minute. No, I can't figure out to articulate it once. Leave it alone. I'm sorry. Sometimes I come up with multiple dots, and it's like one hits me, and I'm like, "It's a good or it's a bad idea." Sorry, I'm back.
so yeah, like ion cannon is three dice. So you're gonna be throwing three, and it's a range 1 to 3. So yeah, kids spend a hit or crit result to cause the defender to suffer 1 damage. All remaining hit or crit results inflict ion tokens instead. So now you have four tokens to possibly get more ions because if they all four go,
Okay.
you roll all four dice and you
Mm,
get hits or crits on each one, then even if you evade one,
mm.
you're still going to get a damage in two ions.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
So that one extra is going to do a lot more, especially when you start throwing in those medium bases and stuff. So
Mm. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what's gonna be challenging. Then, I knew it. I was wondering if there was mirrors in here when I came in this morning. And again, I didn't ask that because I was outside doing something else, so never mind. It just shocks me that someone took the time out to put the part that seems like the emptiest area of hot dogs, be to put the hot dogs where it's supposed to be.
Wait a second. Think about this. If you put that HLC on a heavy laser cannon,
Uh huh.
it comes with, and I mean, it's a bullseye one, but still, it comes with 4 attack dice. So now I can throw 5 at you.
Yeah. Oh man, that's just crazy.
I mean, all crits turn into hits, but still, shoot, hits are hits.
Exactly.
Now I got 5 to shoot at you.
Uh,
But of course, like I said, bullseye. So all you got to do is try to stay out of the bullseye arc of the shuttle.
True, and if memory serves right, that would be preferably mostly the front end, not the aft end. Which
Right.
some
It's
reason,
only the
some
front.
stars. Oh, go ahead.
I said, yeah, it's only the front.
Oh,
So
the front. Never
yeah,
mind. I'm
don't
not
have
trying to
the
figure
front
how
arc.
that works. That when I look up there in the front of the hall, it's like, yeah, it makes sense until you realize that you're talking about oil bases and the prime.
What? Did you lose a train of thought in the middle of it? Did we lose you, Larry?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just thinking. It's like,
Oh,
wow, so many things that can happen. I mean, oh god, it's like, oh man, I can't wait for this to come out so then I can be like, that's what's gonna definitely suck. That might work. No, that's not gonna work. It's just when I'm listening to you talk about how some of this stuff turns from you had to shoot it multiple times to almost being one kill shots. It's like, how do you make something that's strong enough to resist that or have enough armor hold to clarify that? Yes, it can survive the shot, but how badly damaged is it going to get? I don't know. Now I'm curious.
well,
Stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't want to shout the movie The Purge, but it feels like that now with the new ships. It's like all the ideals and tactics you have, purge them out because even if you understand them, you might not make it to this. I'm like, yeah, God. The lore I learned, I gotta throw out. Now I gotta learn this new laurel. Okay, let's start seeing what the new laurel is about. And I'm watching, seeing what some of it's about, and I'm like, didn't really change. Same with McDonald's. Whew, love the restaurants because they always are a quick reminder of everything I need to know: time, hour, and day. Everyone's like, "How's that happen?" Time. I'm sorry. I'm going to rant again. Let me stop doing that.
yeah, you get the nice little rants going on.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
you're going with McDonald's? What the heck?
yeah. I started. I'm thinking of Star Wars, but my brain is processing how to explain it. The only way it can do that is by leaving the world of Star Wars and coming to reality or something else I know that's very similar. And it's like, how did it happen? I don't know. It just pops in my head, and then I try to go with the flow. And then when I realize my flow is going farther than where it's supposed to, it's like, uh oh.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like these squads, it's like you got multiple ways to build them up. But if you had certain trick cards that were a little too powerful, guess what? They're gone. So you got to rebuild from scratch. And it's like y'all we were talking about what was the last one with the emphasis of the cards points now being all digital, so that's how you can keep score with it. It's like, okay, this month maybe the card build that you have now is great. So it's kind of like, okay, I have a squad build so far for two of the new 2.0 factions. Now the question is, when the new packs come out, will it still be the same number count, or will they change within the next couple of days? If so, what happens when one of the packs I have on there sends me right over to 200? I'm like, oh
Well,
boy.
I mean, they did put out in the new OP stuff that they were going to do point changes twice a year.
Oh, thank God, it's better. See,
Yeah.
I was
So
sure that was going
I
to be
mean,
done.
oh, shoot, I don't remember what they said when. I don't think they said when they were going to be doing it, so I'd,
Hopefully,
I'd have to look.
yeah, I was gonna say hopefully not anytime soon. And what I mean by that is, let's go at least a year and a year and a half before they smile and say, let's change the number code. So when I walk in, it's not like, all right, I'm gearing to play because, like I was saying, the brand new ones are out. Some people build some decks instantly because they knew had a vague knowledge of what maybe the cards that will be available, and then find out when you filled your squadron because it came out before that. Like I said, the points. So it's like, now you tell me it's going to be every 2 years. I'm like, that works better than if it was like every year. If it's every year, it's like, oh my god, how am I supposed to keep up with these new starships, squads, their account builds because they change all of a sudden. Like, now I gotta go read just read all my cards in so many words. It's like that's something I need to do one of these days. Is just sit down. I might do it tomorrow. Sit and read all the special ability cards so I have an understanding. So if the points do change, I may have a vague knowledge of some of the cards better than I do now. That's why I'm just shaking my head on the dots. It's like there's so many endless possibilities now that they done what they did. Keeping it digital, I'm excited about the new packs coming so I can finally fill my ships that have been on the sideline. Yeah, it's in first order. I don't think I have that many resistant fighters right now. It's
Well,
fun.
I mean, they only have those 4 ships
Sure.
for the resistance, also.
And they're probably going to take their sweet time before they get ready to do the next wave, anyways, of ships because I believe they need to get some more continuity to the ships before they throw them up on the market saying, hey, but then again, business is business.
I
So they
mean,
might.
like I said, they're going to come out with um, the 4 ships. Um, like the only expansion pack they've even shown is the TIE FO, but it's already going to be part of the conversion kit. But
Yeah,
then on the resistance side, they throw out there, oh, here's the A-wing,
yeah,
because up until then, what did they have? They had the X-wings, the
yep,
T-70 X-wings, they had the Falcon and the bomber.
yeah.
So
And
they only had the 3. So now that takes it to 4 ships. Is that it? Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, that's all they had.
yep,
I
and
feel like I'm missing one, but
don't worry. If you don't know, I don't know. It might pop up in one of our heads eventually.
yeah, but it will. Um, so it'll match up to 4 because then each side will have 4 ships. But I mean, that's not going to be part of the expansion pack, the A wing, because that's going to be part of. I mean, it's going to all the cards and stuff are not going to be part of the conversion kit
Yeah,
because they have that for the
Res-
uh,
no, it's
in
just.
the expansion pack.
Oh yeah, that too.
So
And that's
I
why
don't know.
the A wing is being treated like the B wing. Even though the A wing was in the original Star Wars, they're saying the A wing is such a bad behind starship that it deserves a right to be brought up into the future. Hmm. Like the concept. Just can't wait to see what kind of pilots are waiting for it too. God, there's so many dots.
Yeah.
Then
Uh,
also, are they planning to refill the Y wing in the Resistance Force, or has it just been mothballed completely?
yeah. I mean, I don't think they have the Y wing around anymore.
Hmm.
Um, but you never know. They might pull it in episode 9.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about the other ships. It's like, yeah, they're building the squads for them, but now it's like, will they do like they did with the old X-wing, or they're gonna just try to keep it new and fresh and not try to rehash some ships to other factions because they once flew for that faction underneath a different flag, so why not have them fly underneath the new flag? Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Once it gets more deeper into the years of this game, because there's so many things they can do now to us that we weren't. I mean, we were prepared for, but some of us might not be entirely prepared for it because they'll be caught off guard. Especially, let's say, for instance, your Warhammer. Well, I can't really say too far in Warhammer. I just can only guesstimate from what I've heard from conversations that they may update every so often. So that's not going to help. Forget it. There's right now no comparison I can use for someone who's brand new. Let's say they were used to board games and they're like, I'm taking a shot with X Wing because they're kind of similar. Well, they got to get used to the new rules and concepts, which means they got to get a phone or a smart device, build their squad, and then also check it every 2 years because if they don't, something may go up, may go down, elective, and then yeah.
I don't think they're going to be doing 2 years.
Oh, I mean, you said like it's going to be every 2 years. They're going to go through
No,
there and may do
no,
adjustments.
they're going to adjust points twice a year, so like every 6 months.
Oh, every 6 months.
Which is okay. But then when they're saying that the um, different levels of ships, and when they have certain things that, or no, I said they were saying something about they're phasing some ships in at certain times and phasing some out. I mean, I don't know, like you can't like fly a certain pilot at certain time, you know, but it's kind of that's kind of the way it seemed to me that.
Well, as you're saying this, it reminds me of what was the game? It's a video game I played or own, and it's like in this video game you can buy upgrades and stuff like real money, and you can fill out the objects you paid for or the objects you unlocked. And long story short, uh, as you play the game, they gave you warnings like, okay, you purchased this character. Well, in these certain seasons, this character will not be in use because X, Y, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's like, oh crap! So now I gotta make sure I have a failsafe for that person to get pulled out of their ship to not be active. They're just gonna be a pacifist or something for the time being. I don't know. They'll throw out whatever they want to describe. If the person's not there or not active for. So it's like, oh shoot, I need to have a plan B set up just in case I walk in that morning. Everyone told me, oh yeah, you can't use that pilot because they're underneath the do not use for X, Y, B, C, D amount of time. So it's like, oh, okay, now I gotta rebuild the squad instantaneously. I'm not saying that it's going to be a nuisance to some people, but some people may find it, I'm going to say not annoying, but makes them sit there and really learn how to build a squad because beforehand, you build a squad, it was perfect. You didn't have to worry. You felt comfortable with it. But now with the changes, it forces you now to take your deck more serious. Like, okay, instead of, having my primary pilots I feel comfortable with, I need to have a backup team just in case. Just in case they're not usable. Makes it more interesting at the same time, makes you wanna think. Hmm. Sorry. I'm just thinking, it's just getting fun thinking about how much versatility it's gonna force you to do because I remember back in the day, everyone was like, whoa, hey, you got this pilot card, you have such and such person. Well, now it's like, okay, you got those special pilots. You might not want to trade them because you never know. One day you walk in, that card you traded for such and such, you be sitting there like, oh, I wish I never traded that card to such and such person now because I can't fly my squad because the person I had sitting in a certain seat is not allowed to fly right now in the game. Ugh. And you're just sitting there out of luck. Ugh. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
like.
mean, they said that for like hyperspace trials, I think it was that they said that those kind of stuff that they were going to be have limitations. Like they just did I don't know, they just did the Coruscant Invitational last weekend.
I
Um,
heard about that.
in each faction, like each player in Scum had to have a crew member for Boba Fett.
Makes
You know,
sense.
on their list, but so that means for one, it limits that you can't fly Boba Fett as a
True.
pilot. So, but then on the Rebel side, everybody had to have at least one Leia Organa.
Ooh.
So that one. But then on the Empire side, the card that they each had to have in their list was Ruthlessness or Ruthless, right?
Uh, yeah.
But that's the one that you could actually have had it on every ship.
True.
Like it's the only one that's not that limited one. So, that's kind of gave that extra. That right there, I think, is one of the reasons why the guy who won it was Imperial, and most of the people that did well,
Yeah.
on it were Imperials. So, the guy who won it used the Punisher.
Ah, my enemy, maybe new friend. Ship.
So,
That's
the Punisher. I mean, even when I played a Punisher at our little tournament we did, last week, that
yeah.
the Punisher is nasty. You get some new cards that these have, and these guys have built them up so where they're nasty. So that makes that Punisher good again. 1.0 was just kind of a sluggish kind of It's
Yeah,
there. That's why I never got the model. I never got the expansion because I never wanted one of the ships because I wasn't going to fly it. Now I do have other ships that I don't fly, but um, they had a reason for me to buy the pack. Like they had a certain upgrade or something that was in those packs that I wanted. But the Punisher never came up as something that I wanted. So I never want anything out of the pack, so I never had to buy it. So now I'm wishing I did.
Hey, don't worry. For me, when it came to this, I was like, should I just buy and then trade what I don't want, or do I want to keep it? I'm like, well, I don't know what may happen in the future, so I'm going to keep what I have and then see what happens down the road because a lot of people are like, let's trade, let's trade, let's trade. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, but I don't know how this is going to play out. And now it paid off to keep them because now it's like, ooh, I get to fill them with the new upgrades.
Right, right. Like I know, like Ben, in our group, he's not going to fly first order when it comes out, and I know I will be. So he had the two um, TIE from the Force Awakens course set.
Uh,
He just gave them to me. He's like, here you go. So now I got two extra TIE fighters. So now
sweet.
I think I have I think five of the TIE fighters. So I can. That's how I was able to play around with that um,
Mock up.
that build today, so I could see how it fit on the thing. Yeah, I know I could have probably used TIE SFs, but I wanted it to be all the same.
Hey, to each is their own is my motto.
Got to do it reality style.
True.
If it's a
And
possible thing that I could run, then I'm gonna make sure I have the ships. So
yeah,
that right there, it could be something I run in as soon as this thing breaks out.
yeah.
Just think
Because
about
it's
it. If all of them got a shot at you, all five ships got a shot at you, that's 12 red dice coming at you.
exactly. It
You know?
reminds me of another person with his squad of TIE fighters. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Don't let his
So,
squad get up on your tail because they'll just light you like a Christmas tree.
yeah.
Ugh.
So,
It's-
but we'll see how these TIE fighter pilots and stuff come out once they actually come out. It'll be nice to, get um, some more information, so some more of the pilots and stuff and initiatives, and then hopefully sometime we can get hey, here a month out, here's the point costs, for the
yeah,
first order and resistance, so that we can start trying to see if we can build a list.
exactly. Because that's something I'm thinking about myself. Is seeing what the first order is going to be running, whether their ability, well, what's coming in their conversion abilities. Same thing with the resistance. It's like what kind of things are coming in theirs. And I know for right now, the time being, most of it's been split up into this is what this faction's abilities are. This is what this faction's abilities are. And for right now, who knows? They might start intertwining again, or they might stay separated.
No,
For
they're gonna stay
everything.
separate. But they're gonna stay separate. And that's the whole point. They're gonna have that separate, and then then the other two that come out in next year. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, like this article really kind of gets me excited about wanting to fly the first order. Um, get that big old blackbird on the table again.
Yeah, because I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were feeling it. I was like, okay, this thing's going to stick. This thing's going to stick. And the next thing I know, they all disappeared. I was like, yeah, they're not going to stick. Because I got
Yeah,
myself an Epsilon too, but I just have never sat down and really felt it because it goes back to the concept. It's a wonderful looking design ship. Tactically speaking, I had to come up with a plan of how it could be effective on the battlefield.
well, I did it. I mean, I did it pretty good. I had a pretty good record when I was flying that in the first edition with that and two defenders.
Never done about filling with two defenders.
Yeah,
Huh.
I used to fly with two defenders and I did really good at that. But of course, you defenders with the X7 and ion cannons on it. But I mean, I would just do the Starbase Killer pilot and have it naked. There wasn't anything on it, so most of my points went to the defenders.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking when you said Starbase Killer pilot. I was like, that's less points than the standard pilots. And that's something I had to learn. I had to learn that I need to start getting ready to take a break from need to have all these ace pilots and start filling out a squad of no names, basically.
Right.
Like better feel of formation flying and tactics can get a little bit more refined because I get a chance to mess up a little bit, but no, I got maybe another squad right behind it that's flying more better than the first squad. And that's something I had to learn the hard way was how do you fly in formation? How do you fly in formation in X-Wing? Oh God. And I want to see how that looks. Half the time my ships were bumping into each other. I got a lock on. I get oh shoot. Sorry, bumped into another ship. So that ship, so can't use it.
Yeah. I'm flying when you first started. It really kind of sucked, but that all takes just practice because you can kind of visualize. Like me, I know I can pretty much visualize where it's going to be or how close it's going to be. Sometimes it's a little too close to a rock than I wanted to, or
Shoot.
sometimes I just clip it. Try to
Yeah.
use the advantage in the templates as much as I can. Um, but yeah, it's fun. But like I said, I'm looking forward to that. But like right now, I even have a build that's got 4 TIE fighters and a Reaper.
Hmm.
I was playing around with that one. I wanted to see how that one would go too. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like taking all the Inferno squad
Uh-huh.
with the Reaper with the Major Vermeil. So
Yeah.
they all end up with the same pilot initiative. So um, you place them all down at the same time. They move all at the same time. So it's not like one of those ones where okay, well I'll move these 2 ships and then you move your 3 ships and then I'll move this extra one or you know
Mm.
cuts that worry about hey it's my turn to move. I move all 4 of my ships. Now the
Yeah.
opponent I don't care if they have higher or lower. Then they can split their own stuff up. But this way, I have it marked out so they all move together, and they're on the higher side too because they're all 4s.
Yeah. Huh.
But that'll be a fun one to start to play around with.
True.
So hopefully, I can find somebody to get a game in like Monday or Tuesday. See if I can get somebody to come over to the house and play because Monday and Tuesday the boys have school, Michelle has school, and I'll be home alone.
Tuesday. Tuesday. I might get back to you on Tuesday because Monday, um, let's just put in this terms. some people, a person, I would tell everybody, networking never kills. You never know, you might find a good job by network with people.
Yep.
And well, someone I used to work with, I networked with, and as she got terminated, she stumbled into another company, and well, Monday I'm going to be kind of preoccupied with dealing with that company, talking with them to see if they can actually turn me from being just a person that just got a job into actually I'm working towards what I want to in my career, etc., etc. But that's something in the air right now. That's why I'm like Monday, no, but Tuesday I'm not going to be doing anything. Definitely.
Yeah, let me know because like during school hours, like I said, I'll just be home. I plan on getting some stuff ready to go for the wedding and stuff, but like, I have to go up to on post to drop off a prescription,
Ah,
stuff like that. Make sure we got all that stuff for the trip. Um, Gotta go get the oil changed in the truck before the trip, and it worked out good because it's due anyways right now, like right around now.
hey,
So it's due for an oil change, and I have to do it because I'm taking this trip. So
hey, understandable, understandable.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it'll be a long drive. I
but
might bring I might bring my Han Solo fridge. You, ever see, you see that?
no, I haven't seen it yet. Ah, okay, I see it now.
Yeah, nice fridge with Han Solo and carbonite. Let's see
Hey,
if I.
yeah,
Oh,
not a bad size.
it's even got lights like a Jabba's palace.
No comment, no comment on that one.
So it's pretty cool. But
True.
yeah, it's got a cigarette lighter plug, and it holds like what 18 cans of soda or beer.
I mean, if I'm thinking about investing something like that similar, but it's not gonna be as prestige as that one. It'd probably be like it will hold 8 or 4 soda cans in it at least. I'm like, yeah, I'll work with that.
Yeah, put that in the truck. We can have drinks for the whole trip.
I ain't kidding.
See
Especially
out
since,
how to fit it right between the boys on
uh-huh.
the like on the floor and see how it works.
Hey, I tell
So
everybody, what is it? Even though it's something to celebrate a uniting of two people, you should still have fun with it regardless, because it's
yeah,
light. Enjoy it.
yeah, but we're gonna have a good time. We have a bunch of stuff going on. We got, of course, we're going up there Thursday, so I can spend the rest of the day kind of decompressing from the long drive because long drives don't work good for me. I don't like them. Um, so, and then we have Friday morning. I'm supposed to meet with some people at the hotel about making sure all the music and stuff gets linked together and all that good stuff. And they're gonna have internet access for my laptop at school because that's where most of the stuff's gonna be running off of. Um, and then we have the rehearsal later that afternoon, rehearsal dinner that night, and then the next morning, of course, is the big day. It was funny
Ah,
when we were talking about what time we were gonna have the wedding. Michelle was like, "What time? What's the earliest we can do this?" She would like
no.
roll out of bed, take a shower, and let's get married. So she goes,
Sounds like
as
she's a
soon as
trip.
possible. So, but I convinced her to wait till noon. So we have our wedding at noon, and then go into the reception after that.
Okay,
Best
man.
part, best part, open bar.
No. I was gonna say because after me doing so many ways, X amount of ways, I did about I want to say close to 10, and everyone asked me what time of the hour do most people get married. I've only met one couple who got married real late in the evening. The rest of everybody who got married, it was usually bright early in the morning, very early in the morning, right after the sun just pressed over in the area, just got that slight
Yeah,
cold
that
morning.
dawn.
Yes. And then it all breaks down to I always keep telling people my favorite word is probably going to be the word I'm going to say for the rest of my life. whenever I do jobs or tasks. It's logistics. If logistics can make it to where it's supposed to be, we're good. And everyone's like, why is logistics being used again in weddings? I'm like, well, you gotta remember, for a wedding event, the bride and the groom have to be there. They're like, yeah. So if it's not on the grounds, like a hotel literally connected to this place that they're having the wedding, they gotta be either driven, they gotta drive themselves, or be driven here. They're being
Yeah.
driven. That's what they become. Logistics. They're
Well,
like,
that's why the smart thing is we're staying in the hotel that we're getting married and having the reception in. So, if we're hammered at the end of the night, it's stumble to the elevator.
exactly. And you just hit the beautiful, everybody, you hit the most beautiful part, because some people are like, how weddings go? I'm like, well, I have experienced out of my time with these weddings at least 3 or 4 times something went wrong, and usually it was on the bride's side with transportation. First disaster that happened was I was doing a wedding on Fort Bragg. Everything was smooth. The groom, everyone got there. They were wondering what was taking the bride so long. Well, the chauffeur forgot to update his pass to get on Bragg, and for the next
They stopped at the gate.
yep, for the next couple hours going through all loops and stuff while we're still on the other side of the base, like, when are they gonna be done? When are they gonna be done? And they finally got done and got there. He was able to drop her off. It was just like that took a wedding that was gonna last maybe like an hour and a half, to now like almost 4, 5, 6 hours. Yeah, this is the longest wedding I've ever done. Thank you. I wasn't mad. I was just there like, yeah, they just want to get this over with so they can move on to the next thing in life, man.
Right. I
Whew.
mean, I think we planned it out pretty good. So, that morning and everything. Um, so with staying at the host hotel takes away so many issues. So
Yes,
and yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
and that's a good thing.
Everything goes right, be even perfect.
Well, I'm gonna put it in these terms. Y'all have it so under control that the chances of something going wrong is almost close to minute. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. And I warn everyone. The Titanic should teach everyone a golden lesson. Never say the word impossible, because somewhere up there, either it's God or fate, whatever anyone wants to say. I'm be like, oh, really? Hold my beer.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and all heck breaks loose. So I'm like, a slim or minute chance of something going wrong. I'd rather aim for that word than saying perfectly nothing. It's going to go wrong. I'm
Right.
just hoping it goes beautiful for y'all, and y'all have a wonderful time.
Well, I hope so too. And of course on our cake topper
Uh,
is Leia and Han.
now that I can see.
Yeah, we have I found somebody on Etsy that did cake toppers, and they had it like out of plexiglass, but it's the mirrored stuff.
uh,
So, and they have it. It's a silhouette of Han and Leia, and then it says "I love you" and "I know" on it. It's really cool. So we have that as our cake topper. So yeah, Michelle's already got all of her stuff, like a bunch of the decorations or like the stuff for the tables or just those little knick-knacky things that we're taking for the wedding. She has them
uh,
already in crates, so I can just stick it in the truck, in the back of the truck. So it's
well,
all ready to go, so we don't have to go searching for it or anything. And like the other day, she had us do an inventory, so I know we're ready for what we need to do. We have
yes,
like 2 more tasks to do beforehand, and that's it. And we have planning that for the next couple days to get it done. So, all right. Well, do you have anything else to talk about? Because it's about all I got.
hey, don't worry. I've been trying to fly on stuff to pull out. That's why when I was talking about the maneuverabilities and the special, like extra stuff that's coming out, and the things that led me to thinking, I was like, yeah, I'm really fishing here at the bottom of the barrel, but I want to give it like that shot.
Yeah.
but,
Well,
but yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's kind of like, yeah, I want to get some more playtime in. I probably have when I start getting more playtime, I might have more stuff to say. Because right now it's like, yeah, I know about the new stuff, but I want to see the extra new stuff, and it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like Christmas. You're waiting for that day when Christmas Day comes to get to open up the present. You get to find
Yeah,
out all the fun, cool things that are waiting for you, and that's the best way I'm gonna play it. Fun, cool stuff, not the stuff that you're like. Because I remember when I first heard the what was it, Star Wars. There was a few cards I got in my collection, and I was like, man, this card ain't gonna mean nothing. I was got excited about those ways. The next thing I know, some people found out how to fill those cards correctly. I would turn back around. I was like, yeah, I don't like you, card. I wish I
yeah.
knew what you could have done.
It's like the first time somebody shot me with TLTs.
Oh
I was
God.
like, that does what? you know,
Well,
yeah. So that'll be interesting what's coming up. So more and more stuff. So hopefully they come up with another article or something next week and or the following week. So we had someone to talk to. So in 2 weeks we'll be back on. Um, get ready for it. So we'll be ready to go. I'll make sure I can see if I can get the other guys on here too. So it'll be more people talking.
true.
Um, I know one of the things we don't talk about is that people that watch the videos, uh, down below, I know is a like button, and I know there's a subscribe. So we want to get as many people to like and subscribe to our channel so we
True.
can get more subscribers and stuff. Once I get my graphics done here soon, we'll be doing some more editing with the videos. So that'll kick off. Oh, I didn't tell you. I got because like some of these podcasts that we listen to, like the Minox or Gold Squadron or things like that. That the ones that like that, they all got their Patreons. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if we get enough people, we can start doing stuff like that. And like I'm a Patreon subscriber for Minox, and they I just got their because they send out promos for stuff for all the subscribers, and they just sent me mine. I got it today, and it's like alt art cards, two alt art cards of the Tutu brothers,
Hmm. Okay.
And if I thought about it, I would have brought them up here with me, and then some shield tokens, some
Hmm.
acrylic shield tokens. But I know they were saying they were working on some. I think, oh, what is it? Um, I don't know if it was them or that, but I think there was charge tokens or something that was coming.
Ah.
They're working on, so it would be cool. But yeah, and then I'm supposed to be taking my trip to California at the end of the month. Not too
Oh.
happy about that, but I was like, I'm just gonna be there for a couple days, so it's not like I'm gonna miss a week or anything. I'm gonna be there like Tuesday through Friday or
Oh.
Thursday. I'll be back to work on Friday. But the Minox are having a tournament. They have the Minox Open, and I was hoping. I mean, I was like telling Michelle today. I said, what would make that trip to California? It would have been that I could have gone to the Minox Open while I was there, because that would have been nice. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'll look at Chris is posting stuff on Facebook. Um, yeah, so I mean that's that. But um, I know that if we can start getting our subscribers and stuff, that we can maybe start doing that, and we can start doing stuff to where we can offer some stuff to some people and stuff, and we start getting our logo and stuff out there, and it'll be nice.
Agreed. And since you're
So
talking about Patreon, I have some knowledge about that. So when you mentioned Patreon, I was like, oh, okay, that's where things can get much more interesting, much more interactive, I guess,
yeah,
because when people subscribe on there, it's a certain amount fee you pay, stuff like that. So it's like, oh, okay.
right. I mean, they
That's
have
pretty
their different tiers of subscribers, on who's um who, on your level of, how much money you pay. So I don't do too much with I can't afford too much to send off on Patreon. So I do what I can. So at least those guys got something. I can say I contributed to their tournament. So
I'm just saying that once we start developing a Patreon, it's gonna get interesting because then we gotta figure out what kind of stuff we're gonna do for our basically our fans. So, well,
right,
can't
but
believe
I
I
mean,
said
it might,
that.
it might be stuff where we have big tournaments coming up somewhere near us, or in Raleigh or Charlotte, or when they do the Nova Open or whatever events like that, that we could go to those and do some live streaming or something from there,
True.
or be able to go there and attend the place. I mean, and then talk about it or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Because that
So
way also
something like that, that would be good.
true. Because if I'm thinking about this and you're talking about it, it's like there's a few. If we keep working into, well, basically, yeah, we're all trying to work towards making this more of a reality. That some of the people that stay with it, I'm not saying everyone's, well, basically everyone's part of the group. So as the future progresses, that instead of us at first, we probably might be in the background. Because I've looked at some other people who start off in the background, and they got acknowledged, they got put up on the front because they were like, "Hey, it's such and such group. Why don't y'all come up? Do a little bit of not really hosting, but some interviews, spot on interviews with other
Right,
people who can
right.
chance."
I mean, like guest star on somebody else's podcast or something. And
Exactly.
that's those are the hopes, the dreams that I have for our group, so we can do some stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I'll start somewhere, and we got to get going.
True.
Get more. So that's why we need people to like the videos and subscribe. Maybe when I go back, I can put the subscribe here and the like button over here or something. you know, Now watch in a couple weeks when I have this thing up there re-edited with the graphics, and I got those buttons in there.
And who knows? I'm not saying we can join the rest of everyone and get crazy with it, but we could also probably discuss about, do we want to have our faces on there, or do we want to do animation style, blah blah, or
We could,
that's something down the road.
yeah, some stuff down the road. I mean, I would like us to get to the point where we can like do T-shirts and stuff and
Yeah,
we can, when we go other places, we can have our T-shirts on or something. So I mean, that's where I'm going for it. So hopefully that'll work out.
I'm
So
game.
then
Like
if we show up at a tournament and we're all wearing the same shirt, it's not going to be like Darren and I last week showing up there with samesies because we got the same shirt on. So it'll be a little bit more appreciated if it's like for our squadron or something. So
Yeah.
so yeah, well that's about it that I got. So you got anything else?
Well, actually, everything I mentioned so far was actually I said a lot of the stuff that actually that's on my mind right now. So yeah, that's about it for right now. For everyone,
Yeah, and then this allows me. I'm gonna go give me one more last drink, and then I'll go on to bed. It's
Actually,
only
once I get
11:30.
oh,
So all
go
right.
ahead.
So all right. So let's wrap this up. So
No problem.
next time we'll be gone for 1 week. Let's see you in
No
2 weeks.
No problem.
27th of October we'll do another one, and hopefully we'll get some more of the guys on here so we can talk some more. So thank you, Larry, for coming on, doing this with me, and that's it. So it's Viper Squadron out.
Adios, guys.